Hawk's Grey Warden ally should be inside that cave. The fort appears sound. The Inquisition might make use of it. It seems the dwarves have found new use for it. Let us hope this ends as just one more for your collection. The veil is thin here. Can you feel it on your skin, tingling? Dorian! Iron Bull. I understand that among your people you are... What is the term? This rift is not sealed, but it is closed. Albeit temporarily. I did nothing. The credit is yours. What manner of tunnel is this? A mine?
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
Cole believes we are headed in the correct direction. They appear to be Cartelirium smugglers. They have lost all possible supporters. The Inquisition is their only remaining chance for freedom. That is the question, is it not? Sarah is wounded! You spied upon your own people. However, opening the rift will likely attract attention from the other side. I theorized the mark might be able to close the rifts that have opened in the breach's wake. And it seems I was correct. Our priority must be the breach. Unless we seal it soon, no one is safe.
You're going to destroy this world?
It is not the area I would have chosen, of course. But to physically walk within the Fade. A lost spirit. This should... I see just as many Templars. The veil is shattered. There is no boundary now between the world and the Fade. I shall bear that in mind. I believe the mayor would know. Some people make their living from valuables they find in the deep roads. That is fascinating, if true, and almost certainly dangerous. I was trying to determine some way to show you what you mean to me. Venedis! Why? The breach remains a threat to us all. I do. I looked. I believe that with the mark, the rift can be opened, and then sealed properly and safely. Whatever magic opened the breach in the sky also placed that mark upon your hand. Along with whatever has detained them. This is fascinating.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
Dorian's in danger! No! Hold on! So I have been told. Because I am an apostate. I might flee before the Inquisition throws me in chains? Echoes of what happened here. The Fade bleeds into this place. Possibly. If enough magic is brought to bear, it is possible. Stands to reason. This realm follows different rules from the Fades. Will alone cannot overcome what you see. I see just as many Templars. I agree with him. But this is hardly an improvement. For now, the best gift I can offer is the truth. Of course! What they say and do, yes. Not what they think. I take my commitment seriously, Seeker. Come what may, I shall see this through. Sometimes terrible choices are all that remain. This world is full of wonders for those who seek them. Echoes of what happened here. The Fade bleeds into this place. It seems you hold the key to our salvation. That is true. Yes, literally. A solid form is both shackle and strength. It affects more than you imagine. We should move on. We can only restore order by securing an alliance. The Elder One does not suffer rivals of any kind. You are unique. In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade. I need help! The Tevinter Imperium is not the safest place for an elf. Not a good answer. No. At a guess, the person who created the breach. Was that a serious question? As I recall, you insisted on coming along. Thank you for the warning. Or pomposity. We must still deal with the apostates, however. The Magister's grown paranoid. He's barricaded himself in there and will not come out. You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined. Enough! No. Even the lowliest peasant may find freedom in the safety of her thoughts. You take even that. Seeker, you initially believed our Herald of Andraste was involved in the attack on the Conclave, yes? I walked it in Ansharal. There is only death on this journey. Thank you. The death itself was less painful than what came before. Magic could have drawn on Lyrium beneath the temple. Corrupted it. You may reconsider that stance in time. Without the soldiers, we would already have been swarmed. Calm yourself, child. Hostile emotions only draw the demons more quickly. A simple enough request. The rage demon might threaten others as well. I sense magical energies ahead. The mages cannot be far. If this madness is to be undone, we must focus on Alexius. Then what I must tell you, the truth. It absolutely is. That is most certainly true. No. This is the Fade. They carry themselves with confidence. This will not be easy. The refugees at the crossroads might appreciate warm clothes. You're alive. We saw you die. I'm sorry. Blackwall has fallen! I admire your optimism. But ask yourself honestly how the Templars would have reacted. The veil is thin here. The plan was for Corypheus to unlock it, and for the resulting explosion to kill him. Then I would claim the orb. Many mages are brutes, seeking nothing more than a larger ball of fire. Cassandra, you should know, the magic involved here is unlike any I have seen. The Inquisitor opened a rift. We came through. And survived. Surely even you see, Iron Bull, that freedom is preferable to mindless obedience to the Qun.
You have always shown a thoughtfulness I respected. It would be too easy to tell you too much.
Seeing a good spirit twisted, its nature defiled. No. This rift was the first, and it is the key. My name is Solas, if there are to be introductions. I am pleased to see you still live. We must seal it if we are to get past! We walk the Fade, Inquisitor. Strange is to be expected. Thank you. A spirit such as that could not leave here until it had proven its nature. I believe the renegade Templars still present a problem, however. We may not have much time. Let's find the Magister quickly. Your face. The Valasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean. We must help Blackwall! Yet you changed your mind.
A good question, but not one I will answer.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
No. They are intelligent living creatures. Binding them against their will is reprehensible. Those mages knew nothing of my friend. Worse, they did not care. Seal it, and perhaps we seal the breach. Technically, all mages are now apostates, Cassandra. Sealed, as before. You are becoming quite proficient at this. Why would I ever voluntarily come to this part of the Fade? This must be the first time they've seen people like us. That tower is impressive, even as a ruin. I wonder what dreams it might hold. What a terrible waste. No. They are slave markings, or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan. Sarah's in danger!
I know you will try.
You think Orlais and Ferelden would be better off under Qunari rule? The Temple of Sacred Ashes. My travels have allowed me to learn much of the Fade, far beyond the experience of any circle mage. The demon that controls this area is extremely powerful. Some variety of fear, I would guess. I wonder what they make of the giants passing their home. That windmill has weathered a great deal. I am impressed it remains standing. We'll have to go up. I've heard the guards saying that Alexius barricaded himself in the throne room. A noble would mark his slaves to honor the god he worshipped. Help Cassandra! Sadly, yes. Too few invested with authority possess the courage to alter their course.
Sometimes terrible choices are all that remain.
Nor will you, until you've seen ignorance snatch away all that you love. The Temple of Sacred Ashes. I came to offer whatever help I can give with the breach. If it is not closed, we are all doomed regardless of origin. The path ahead appears to be clear of demons as well. The Fade is shaped by intent and emotion. Remain focused, and it will lead you where you wish to go. I doubt these were mere bandits. They moved with the efficiency of a trained group. May we move on? Is someone there? After Alathan fell, the Dalish forgot. Cole needs us! They fear the appearance of weakness.
I would not have you see what I become. I would not have you see what I become.
Pray such a day never finds you. Merely a sensible one. Although sense appears to be in short supply right now. We must seal it if we are to get past! I suggest you remain wary of its manipulations, and prepare for what is certain to be a fascinating experience. The spirits possessing the dead will plague Crestwood no more. There are defenses prepared ahead. Prepare yourself. You cannot stay here! I know. For everything I have said about the Dalish, I admire that indomitable spirit. Help Vivienne!
You will survive this day, Inquisitor. And though I owed you an explanation, I will not give you tools to use against me.
And any that show magical talent are freed, are they not? Do not equivocate. Would we or would we not be better under the Qun? One hopes those in power will remember who helped, and who did not. It's all right, Cole. Even locked in the mortal form you have made yourself, you are in control here. The dwarves built well. Their runes still sing. The camp for our supposed bandits lies up ahead, I believe. We'll hold the outer door. When they get past us, it'll be your turn.
Because it's true.
Varric requires help!
I am not Corypheus. I take no joy in this. But the return of my people means the end of yours.
The distortion of time. I have seen magic accomplish many things, but no, that is new. Healing magic and minor wards. But I fear your mark is now past the point where those will help you. Bonal, Nadas! These ruins seem endless. How far to the surface? I suppose it only natural that some would turn to worshipping the breach, if only in hopes of appeasing it. His mind has been shattered. He says nothing else. Because you deserve better. Bull is in danger!
I will save the elven people, even if it means this world must die.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about your slaves. Regardless of who was responsible, the conflict between Templars and mages helped Corypheus rise to power. Perhaps they do not see the bigger picture, despite it looming in the sky. Ah! You fought the Tal Vashoth for a long time, Iron Bull, did you not? We cannot afford to let political infighting distract us from our duty.
Yes, You remember Briala from Hallam Shiral? For a time, she controlled part of the labyrinth.
You show a wisdom I have not seen since my deepest journeys into the ancient memories of the Fade. Only that they were subsequently slain. When an archdemon rises, they slay it. What will they do when all the archdemons are slain? Demons ahead! Ah! Has it affected you? Changed you in any way? Your mind? Your morals? Your spirit? I'm pleased we were not forced to kill them, if that's what you mean. I can feel the weakness in the veil even above ground. This must be one of the supply caches Recruit Whittle wished us to find. Can you reverse the process? You could return and obviate the events of the last year. It may not be too late.
Don't say that. For all they got wrong, the Dalish did one thing right.
Cole is hurt!
There was a mighty kingdom here once. I have seen glimmers in my dreams. And you needed a home. Hence, Skyhold.
If you have, why would it concern you? Those with imagination. Those who use war to push the limits of the possible. Your prisoner is a mage, but I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power. I never thought I would ever find myself here physically. Spirits are being called here like moths to flame. More supplies for Recruit Whittle. That makes sense. He sent you. He would be the key.
They made you.
Vivienne!
Stay alert. There are eyes upon us. You have a castle, an army, and a title that leaves every world leader quaking in fear. Be content.
There is no doubt in my mind. My studies threaten established ideas. I would never have been tolerated.
Your prisoner is no mage. Indeed, I find it difficult to imagine any mage having such power.
Look. The Black City. Almost close enough to touch.
That may be worth investigating.
You would think such understanding would stop me from making such terrible mistakes. You would be wrong.
I didn't tell you this to hurt you. If you like, I know a spell. Few things last long here. Mud and water bury forever what they cannot erode.
Varric is hurt!
I did not foresee a Divinta Magister having learned the secret of effective immortality.
My abilities as a mage, such rules never hold. Any who want victory will find some reason their cause merits exception.
Cole, how does it feel to be back home? Redcliffe Village should be just ahead.
I am dying, but no matter. If you can undo this, they can all be saved.
I can remove the Valasleen.
Iron Ball is down!
Happy?
No, quite the opposite.
But they were more like you, Seeker. We will want to launder our clothes later. Or burn them. When you survived, I saw the Inquisition as the best hope this world had of stopping him.
The best we can do is ensure the world still stands when this fight ends.
What spirit commands this place? I have never seen anywhere like it.
They are retreating. We must pursue. But you know nothing of this world. It is far worse than you understand.
I'm so sorry for causing you pain. It was selfish of me. I look at you and I see what you truly are.
Cassandra!
You were people, and you deserved better. Like all the rest I've used in one hopeless battle after another.
The differences between us are not technicalities to be discarded, Dorian.
You were people, and you deserved better. Like all the rest I've used in one hopeless battle after another.
So, Seeker, your Inquisition grows. We are clear for the moment. Well done. It's all right. We'll make it right.
Venatori. Corypheus has sent his mages here for something.
This world is an abomination. It must never come to pass.
And you deserve better than what those cruel marks represent.
As you will. No. You said this world would be brighter if all thinking creatures were stripped of individuality.
Corypheus should have died unlocking my orb. When he survived, my plans were thrown into chaos.
Be wary. Another Fade rift. They were Templars. These are but minor servants of the Nightmare.
This must be the Horsemaster.
Alexius served a master. The Elder One. He reigns now unchallenged.
Arlasa Malarevas. You are free.
Certainly. You did the brutal, thankless work of putting the wheels in motion.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
The orb had built up magical energy while I lay unconscious for millennia. I was not powerful enough to open it.
You only lack the will to get more blood on your hands. The rift responds to your mark. Try to disrupt its power. Those were little fears. Tiny manifestations spawned from the nightmare itself.
It must have been some time since the renegade Templars faced a mage of any talent.
His minions assassinated Empress Celine and used the chaos to invade the south.
You are so beautiful.
I'm hurt! You feel no regret at letting that power pass to another.
Enjoy it while you can, Inquisitor. It was mine once.
It is not looking down upon them to recognize what they are. Hurry! Use the mark! Remember, we walk in the Fade. Demons of fear shape their appearance to unnerve each of us.
Hopefully the Inquisition can find some way to help these people.
This Elder One, commands an army of demons. After you stop Alexius, you must be prepared.
You are perfect exactly as you are.
I must retreat! It doesn't matter if they are happy, it matters that they may choose.
I gave no orders.
Inquisitor, Do you have a moment? Dorian! Hush.
I gave no orders.
Some, like Sir Barris, are thoughtful soldiers doing what they believe is right. Quickly! Before more come through! It wants our fear. Deny it and it has nothing. I do not think they care, Seeker. If there is any hope, any way to save them, my life is yours.
Even in this, you surprise me.
Away with you!
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it.
What were you like? Before the Anchor, empires rise and fall. Arlathan was no more innocent than your own Tevinter in its time.
Not directly. My agents allowed the Venatori to locate it.
The rest? Younger sons? Petty criminals? Thugs? Bullies? Orphans? You have the mark. Come, real or not, the Divine is the key to escaping from the Fade. We are not Templars. We mean you no harm. If you can return to your present, you might find it helpful to know what the Elder One plans.
I shall speak no more of it. Still, know that whatever happens, you are a rare spirit in this world.
Fall! Yes! If a Ferelden servant decides that his life's goal is to become a poet, he can follow that dream.
For whatever it's worth, you used it well.
Your nostalgia for the ancient elves, however romanticized, is pointless. Either they are accustomed to a life without choices, to following even the worst orders. None of this explains how that mark was acquired, however. The beast hunts us! We must draw it away from our allies. Be ready. More coming our way. Good. But remember this future. It may help you prevent it.
Goodbye.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
It may be difficult, and he might fail, but the whole of society is not aligned to oppose him.
It was like walking through a world of tranquil.
No. That's an excellent point. If you wish to make amends for past transgressions, free the slaves of all races who live in Tevinter today, or they have learned to enjoy causing pain. To leap at any chance to swing a sword harder, and you do not believe that.
The Venatori have made the Oculara and are using them to search for something.
I understand that you are afraid, but you deserve better than slavery to Tevinter.
And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again. I did not lead a rebellion against immortal mage kings without getting my hands bloody.
Perhaps not in the form of your body, no. You surprise me again, Seeker. Sometimes the mind buries what it cannot endure.
Presumably the keys to that ancient ruin in the desert.
That rift altered the flow of time around itself. That is unexpected. Please, Vanan.
You must understand. I awoke in a world where the veil had blocked most people's conscious connection to the Fade.
It's not disappointing, it's... Most people are predictable. Then how sorry are you? Almost none. What does that matter? Your Qun would crush the brilliant few for the mediocre many.
The Templar Order was once the Chantry's army, but it abandoned them to hunt mages. A replacement was needed, something like those old shards, presumably.
The note is unsigned. The boy feared his father might retrieve it. You have a rare and marvelous spirit. In another world...
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil.
Qunari are savage creatures. Their ferocity held in check only by the rigid teachings of the Qun. You are still troubled by what you learned at the temple, Dorian.
I would have entered the Fade using the mark you now bear. Then I would have torn down the veil.
Not low, but realistic. Very few, however honorable, release power they have won. A fortunate delay, considering it saved your lives.
That door seems as good a guess as anything. Perhaps it leads to the deep roads.
I understand that you are afraid, but you deserve better than slavery to Tevinter.
I can't.
If your Qun is so wonderful, so fair and perfect, how does it create so many Talvashoth?
Not at first. You showed me that I was wrong. Again. That does not make what must come next any easier.
Dwarves are practical. They do not dream. They cannot even imagine a world beyond the physical. The Val Royo market was once nothing but tents of oiled leather and mud. It was a simple question.
They appear to be Cartelirium smugglers.
That rift altered the flow of time around itself. That is Unexpected. I can't do that. There are enough of them to marry and have children, like the woman we travel with.
Do not thank me. Without my orb, Corypheus would never have been such a threat.
Perhaps that is it. I suppose it must be. Most people act with so little understanding of the world.
Do not thank me. Without my orb, Corypheus would never have been such a threat.
Filled with ragged humans, selling strings of beads made of bone. I apologize. I did not mean to cause you pain. Manuvinen, Dalen. You truly should. Yes, you are wise to give yourself that due. Although the Dalish, in their fashion, may still have guided you. You think they would not accept the truth?
Wouldn't you, to save your own?
Would you wish to come to the sight of so much death? Maharal, Dalen. No, we can't. You'll see. There are enough of them to marry and have children, like the man we travel with. That is the likely result, yes.
You created a powerful organization, and now it suffers the inevitable fate of such. Betrayal and corruption.
If the Dalish could raise someone with a spirit like yours, have I misjudged them? Yes. I left that memory quickly. The smell. You are Dalish, but clearly away from the rest of your clan. Did they send you here? Mahalani, Maglandeval, via Enasaline. I'm sorry.
The fault is hardly yours. The veil was my creation. Another of my countless mistakes.
Liliana has a brilliant mind, but her faith was damaged. To her, it is all a game of tactics now. The damage to the veil affects all of southern Thedas. Perhaps even all the world. I have wandered many roads in my time, and crossed paths with your people on more than one occasion. You have the ears of the elven people, boy, but not the soul. I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you. If I were to be shackled, you would have done so by now. I am an asset, if not a friend. Rifts in the veil imperil both this world and the Fade.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
As this world burned in the raw chaos, I would have restored the world of my time. The world of the elves.
Cassandra separates matters of faith from those of the world, and she above all should understand how limited that is. I believe so. Why do you ask? Oh yes, it's much better now. I enjoy the frilly cakes. The Dalish I met felt differently on the subject. You can feel the effects of the breach anywhere in the world. You can only help your family by going to them. I'm sorry, I should have ended this long before. I never wanted to hurt you. I may disagree with the Inquisition's choices, but such concerns pale in comparison to the threat we face. The villagers are brave to stay and defend their homes.
Your doubts are misplaced. Everything you accomplished, you earned.
You are modest. So many would use this Inquisition as a blunt instrument in their rise to power. Your order, the Grey Wardens. I mean that I offer to share knowledge, only to be attacked for no greater reason than their superstition. They drift, wandering. It's fortunate the rift did not warp them into demons. I will see you back at Skyhold. Ferelden has failed the villagers of Crestwood. They deserve better.
I hope it gives your people some final peace.
It means that I respect you deeply, Inquisitor. And I have disturbed you enough for one evening. It isn't a sickness. You are losing them because they see a chance for freedom. Well enough to be suspicious. We must focus all our efforts on stopping Corypheus. If we fail there, nothing else matters. And most of them are savage, as you say, because your culture taught them nothing else. I expect you are correct. Sometimes it seems this land is a collection of tragedies, one piled atop another.
The elven guard who led you to the Canary body? Who intercepted the servant with the Gatlock barrel? Mine.
I have seen enough of the world to know I was not misinformed. Most people are small, petty. Of course. But you may still have an answer. It is silence, then. As you wish. I'm sorry. I should never have. I distracted you from your duty. It won't happen again.
Do you know how I discovered the Canary plot? The plot I disrupted by leading them to your doorstep.
But you have shown a subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I know of your people. Perhaps. The humans of ancient times took much from the elves. They know nothing but the Qun, so even as they fight against it, they are guided by its principles. You've yet to come up with a nickname for me, I see. No, this is a mistake. And it's over, I'm sorry. I will be pleased when the world we share is not threatened by a blight-corrupted madman.
The Canary stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Alluvians are now mine.
Humans are short-sighted, brutish, blind to the beauty of the Fade. Their minds cast in a duality of black and white.
The Canary stumbled upon this section independently. With them gone, the Alluvians are now mine.
The Wardens see themselves as the world's defense against the Blight, do they not? It is also meaningless. With the circle of Magi gone, All mages are now apostates.
One of my agents was supposed to take it from her, but he did not succeed. I had to override the magic personally.
You are not what I expected. No man can kill so many people without breaking inside. Thank you, Seeker. I think.
Yes.
You have shown subtlety in your actions. A wisdom that goes against everything I expected.
Without archdemons, there can be no blights. Is that the reasoning?
We will see for ourselves at the forward camp. We are almost there. How are you feeling, Cassandra, after the revelations about your Seekers?
Yes. I'm sorry. And we are almost out of time.
It means I have not forgotten the kiss. To survive, those you fight must become monsters.
The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
I'm pleased we were not forced to kill them, if that's what you mean.
The mistake was yours to fix, Inquisitor.
We must move quickly.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
But losing you would...
I know.
The mind does marvelous things to protect itself. Now that you know them corrupt, you must determine which parts of yourself to discard and which to keep.
Take my hand.
I will always respect you, Inquisitor. Perhaps Abelas will do that.
Sarah's involved, so this question will be offensive.
I'm sorry.
It means I will not forget the kiss, even if there can never be another. What do you mean? It would be kinder in the long run. So they might be slain as well?
The mark will eventually kill you. Drawing you here gave me the chance to save you. At least for now.
Nowhere. I hope they are correct.
I know, Vernan. And we are running out of time.
No, they are an organization.
Also, your mark is getting worse.
Being you. Are you blissfully unaware? Or deep inside, is some part of you banging on the walls, screaming? I never said otherwise. The truth is, Iron Bull, you are Kunari. I cannot be disappointed in your decisions.
There is no glory here. Only a price that I alone will pay.
Of course. Any criticism must be the crazy knife ear whining in all of human history. Oh, really? Yeah!
I would treasure the chance to be wrong once again, my friend.
It would be selfish of me to ask more of you. I would hardly presume. In our travels, I have been impressed by your honesty and your faith. Am I to scold you? Berate you for your decisions? It is a difficult path, Seeker. But if anyone can walk it honorably, you can.
I wish it could, Vernan.
Arlath Mavanan. But you're going to grit your teeth and work through it. Inquisitor, you think that is an achievement of which to be proud?
I know, Vernan. And we are running out of time.
You are a man who made a choice. Possibly the first of your life. Thank you.
Isn't it? Perhaps we should ask your friend, the Iron Bull. Tell me, where is he?
After observing you strike down some of the few true elves left for the crime of defending their temple. I'm sorry, ass. These forests have changed much since I was last here.
The Kunari spies in the Inquisition tripped over my spies in the Inquisition.
Now I know I was right. You have no idea what a comfort that is. You have the Inquisition. You have the Inquisitor. And you have me. Not similar, Seeker. The same. The Chantry sees black and white. But nature is, and always has been, grey.
The veil is thin here. Can you feel it?
Given enough time, yes. To survive, an organization must devote resources to maintaining itself.
Would you give the life of every friend you have ever known?
Oh, in some way, yes. As a mindless, soulless drone, you could never make any. Yeah! You are not Talvashoth, Iron Bull. Not really. Those resources inevitably accumulate, until the original purpose, however pure, is all but lost.
In any event, it is done.
Continue with your merry japes. It would be sad were you forced to examine yourself with a critical eye. Perhaps it's best it remain that way. For a 12-year-old? Ha! Do you enjoy the worship? Does it make you feel infallible? Or do you see them as fools, gullible for their belief? Your magical skill is impressive, Dorian.
Until that day comes, I would see those recovering from the breach free of the Qun.
No more than our Inquisitor, whose parents left the Qun before she was born. A beast, no matter how mindless, will die and give way to a successor.
Because I am not a monster. If they must die, I would rather they die in comfort.
Although I should watch my tone. I speak to a demigod after all, the chosen of Andraste.
Nothing about the Fade or spirits is simple, especially not that.
An organization is eternal. There are always corrupt men who hoard power for their own gain.
And the Kunari offended me.
I should thank you, Inquisitor.
I had spent time with few of your people before this. Would you not conserve energy with a less flashy style, however?
And the Canary offended me.
You are no beast, snapping under the stress of the Cune's harsh discipline, and there are always honorable men who hoard power to fight them.
You have shown me that there is value in this world, Inquisitor. I take no joy in what I must do.
From the stories, I thought you all thuggish, simple and crude. Now, I did not say that.
I will do what I must, but there is no benefit in allowing harm to come to innocents before it's necessary.
After seeing you heroically defend the helpless mages from a demon they themselves unleashed, you give them a lie. Pride, defense, love of family. Even the concept of the Inquisition, those are real things.
In stopping the dragon's breath, you have prevented an invasion by Canary forces.
Are you relieved to have mages back under control? Perhaps when you're done, you can leash them like the Canary do.
I will remember this when it is over.
A spirit is a purpose. A demon is that purpose perverted.
I wonder if there is a single place in the Dales that does not know a human footstep. With luck, they will return their focus to Tevinter. That should give you a few years of relative peace.
Are you glad to have the Templars back at your side?
No. You have the Inquisition. You have the Inquisitor. And you have me. How do you feel, Iron Bull? Do you need a distraction to focus your mind?
I like being out in the forests. It's peaceful. I had plans.
A strong, proud organization founded on the fear of magic. What a wonderful job it has done. The people. How you fought against the tide. It is courageous.
These trees will most likely outlive us all. It is my fight. You should be more concerned about the Inquisition. Your Inquisition.
Tevinter lore about elves remains accurate as always.
Live well, while time remains.
You spend too much time with Sarah. You give them a lie. Pride, defense, love of family. Even the concept of the Inquisition, those are real things.
Survival, satiation, the pleasure of taste, of feeding. True hunger, however, is much darker. King's pawn to e4. Think of all those who starve in this world. Mankind has itself to blame for the existence of demons.
Your death would cause more senseless chaos, more bloodshed. It is unnecessary.
You do them no favors by keeping them ignorant. But then, ignorance must be so appealing to you.
I am surprised you do not practice blood magic, Dorian. Is it not popular in Tevinter?
No, we have another name for it. Are you pleased to have the Grey Wardens on your side? Do you wish you could join their proud little cult?
Though I doubt you will thank me.
Too complicated for a savage Talvashoth? It is worse this time, with the breach pulling spirits through against their will.
Live well, while time remains.
How long do you think before their next attempt to control something beyond their comprehension?
So, where were we? Ah, yes. Mage to c4.
That should give us more time.
Templars could have helped as part of the Inquisition, not as a separate entity dedicated to spreading fear.
Don't you then waste an inordinate amount of magic overcoming your own nullification?
I heard you in the training yard this morning.
Strange that the veil seems so thin here. A great many spirits must have gathered in this place. I suspect you have questions.
Regardless of the long-term consequences of their divisive goals.
Every war has unintended victims. All too many go unnoticed. Speaking of aggressive, I assume Arishok is your turn for the Queen. King to f1. You seem troubled, Seeker. Still plagued by thoughts of your order? The ritual must be underway. There is a great deal of magical energy coming from the bottom of the crater.
The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose. Ultimately, none but I could have borne the mark and lived.
So your great maker will stop anything terrible from happening? How's that working so far?
But yes, every war, no matter how just, leads to hunger and rage. And so come the demons. Pawn to f4. King's Gambit.
My love.
You're not gaining allies. You're gaining minions. Sheep driven by one false god to fearfully follow another.
I notice you used a nullification enchantment combined with an offensive attack.
I don't. Everything in the Fade is a memory. And memories are all too easily muddied.
The deaths, the rage, all of it weakens the veil.
I will never forget you.
Of course, Inquisitor. I won't interrupt you further. Just like your history books. They contain truth, but reason and sense are required to extract it.
The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose.
Their only purpose is to protect the world from something they do not understand. Something that corrupts them.
Of course. Have you considered snapping the veil warp to enhance the relative energy?
The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose.
No. It's fine. Children don't learn unless you shout at them.
I was Solas first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride.
If that is true, then... let us hope otherwise. For all our sakes.
I was Solas first. Fen'Harel came later. An insult I took as a badge of pride. Interesting. What drew so many spirits to this place, I wonder?
All right. You have my curiosity. Mage takes pawn.
There is a stark beauty to this area. This rift is ancient. It may have formed from the battle that took place here, not the breach. You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
If current wisdom suggests you corrupt yourself with darkspawn blood, any suggestion I offer would have to be better.
You also know the burden of a title that all but replaces your name.
A mage?
The mark you bear was bestowed upon you by the orb of Fen'Harel. My orb.
Of course they are. They've been locked in a tower and told they're monsters all their lives.
The mark you bear was bestowed upon you by the orb of Fen'Harel. My orb. The spirits gathered here were drawn to tragedy. They radiated, as fire does heat.
Do you know how rare spirits of faith are? How difficult it is to draw them to this world?
Well done.
Yes, I'm certain they did that with no provocation. Please speak up. I cannot hear you over your outfit.
Well done.
You call your knights Ben Hasrith. Incidentally, knight to F3.
In the same way as when I stopped it from killing you at Haven. Although I am stronger now.
Why am I surprised? You supported the Grey Wardens. Their blind zealotry must be a solace.
In the same way as when I stopped it from killing you at Haven. Although I am stronger now.
You should be proud having accomplished something so remarkable. Not ashamed it was not what you thought. Pawn to D3.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon.
Of course! Everyone is happy under the Qun. What's the sacrifice of a few lives to keep people from discomfort? Yes, the effect clears excess magical energy and creates a minor randomized barrier to impair incoming magic.
The Qunari reject myth and legend. If you told them of your meeting with Mythal, they would attribute it to a demon.
Survive the first 30 heartbeats, and you have already won.
You have grown clever since I left. You have grown clever since I left.
Your faith does you credit, Cassandra. I hope your maker is worthy. All right, Bull. If you are prepared, knight to H4.
He did not do it for recognition.
He did it because it was necessary.
I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
How entirely expected. By your leave, Inquisitor. The technique is not Tevinter, it is Elven.
I am no one's agent but my own. I fear that the truth is much simpler and much worse than the Qunari believe.
I mean that demons are rarely intelligent enough to change their tactics.
I did hear what you learned, yes.
I know. They sought an agent of Fen'Harel.
We have a world to save. Until I see a better option, I will stay and lend my services to this Inquisition.
I know. They sought an agent of Fen'Harel.
If you focus on defending yourself, you will see the full range of their abilities within the first 30 heartbeats.
Neither. Knight to F5.
What would you have had me say? That I was the great adversary in your people's mythology?
Perhaps one day you will even listen. But do go on about the wonders of Tevinter magic.
What would you have had me say? That I was the great adversary in your people's mythology?
By then, you should be able to find a weakness and exploit it.
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
Only by omission. Only by omission.
And you, your knight. Or Ben Hasrath, if you will. Pawn to G4. They would be a danger to themselves and others, yes.
And now you know. What is the old Dalish curse? May the dread wolf take you?
I was not referring to our enemy.
And now you know. What is the old Dalish curse? May the dread wolf take you?
Also, try not to die.
This reminds me of Skyhold. I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor. Is that a problem for you?
I sought to set my people free from slavery to would-be gods. I broke the chains of all who wished to join me.
It is difficult to say. In your vigil you were tranquil for but a moment. They have suffered much longer. Tower to G1. Such control is like a muscle, atrophying without use. Given time, it might be restored, but until then, those who live here must depend on themselves.
No. This is all I have ever been.
This is about me.
No. This is all I have ever been.
You haven't seen many elves, then?
Less than 100 years later, that hostility turned to war and the elves lost their homeland again. The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the veil and banished them forever.
A magical mark of unknown origin? Tied to a unique breach in the veil? Longer than you might think.
The false gods called me Fen'Harel, and when they finally went too far, I formed the veil and banished them forever.
Quite a chill in the air. I get the idea. They will be grateful. Even the ones who do not survive.
This place has seen fewer spirits than most. Thus I freed the elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing.
Thus I freed the elven people, and in so doing, destroyed their world.
There is little to say.
I understand your anger. In your position, I would share it.
You were a mystery.
I understand your anger. In your position, I would share it.
I assumed we were alike. We'd seen war, knew its terrible cost, but understood that it was necessary.
We shall see. Most Dalish would agree with you, and see little value in doing so.
I did not. I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
You still are.
I did not. I would not lay with you under false pretenses.
But there was nothing necessary in what you did.
If you have a moment, Bull, pawn to h4.
Irabalas Fanan.
You were in no position to argue.
Irabalas Fanan.
You did not survive death and destruction. You sowed them to feed your own desires.
Emeridin was correct. The presence of such a powerful spirit would have caused a dreamer like Talana immeasurable pain. They are closer than the Dalish legends, though still prone to making me into something more than I am.
Yes.
They are closer than the Dalish legends, though still prone to making me into something more than I am.
It was done in a private moment. I would rather not discuss it. Pawn to h5. Careful.
You saw another story, written in desperation to give me more credit than I ever deserved.
You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade.
You saw another story, written in desperation to give me more credit than I ever deserved.
By wearing another's skin. You ran away rather than face what you had done.
You saw the remains of Vir Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the veil destroyed it.
No, it didn't.
You saw the remains of Vir Dethara. The library was intrinsically tied to the Fade, and the veil destroyed it.
You wasted your time.
Queen to f3. Yes.
There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed.
Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
There were countless other marvels, all dependent on the presence of the Fade, all destroyed.
I wish to apologize for what I said to you, Blackwall.
I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach.
It was me. The veil took everything from the elves, even themselves. It was me. The veil took everything from the elves, even themselves.
Mage takes pawn, threatens queen.
The more things change, then you would carry the same burden I do.
Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
Then you would carry the same burden I do.
My people had a saying long ago. The healer has the bloodiest hands.
Did the well fill you with a sense of comfort, Seeker?
The elven legends of immortality? All true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging.
Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
The elven legends of immortality? All true. It was not the arrival of humans that caused them to begin aging.
You cannot treat a wound without knowing how deep it goes. You cannot heal pain by hiding it.
Knight to c3. You've developed nothing but your queen. Do you trust ancient elven magic, Seeker?
Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging.
You are likely right.
Your legends are half right. We were immortal. It was not the arrival of humans that caused us to begin aging.
You must accept. Accept the blood to make things better.
Such rash actions will only worry you as well.
Because every alternative was worse.
Some place far away, where I might research a way to repair the breach before its effects reached me.
Because every alternative was worse.
You have taken the first step. That is the hardest part.
I will need to consider.
Had I not created the veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
I never said it was a good plan.
Had I not created the veil, the Evanurus would have destroyed the entire world.
So, You and the Inquisitor are together.
The Evanurists are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
I did.
The Evanurists are banished forever, paying the ultimate price for their misdeeds.
After careful consideration, knight to d5. Then you will understand if my concerns are not dismissed so easily.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily.
I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts.
You met Mythal, did you not? The first of my people do not die so easily.
Far from it. People should seize any chance for a moment's respite in times such as these.
Mage to d6. It is a rare mind that has room to honor both beliefs equally.
Slowly. It started with a war.
I tried and failed. No ordinary magic would affect them.
Slowly. It started with a war.
I am glad you have allowed yourself some happiness.
I watched the rifts expand and grow, resigned myself to flee, and then...
They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment. They killed Mythal. A crime for which an eternity of torment is the only fitting punishment.
King to e2.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them.
It seems you hold the key to our salvation.
She was the best of them. She cared for her people. She protected them.
I would be concerned if you forgot your past, but that seems unlikely.
If you are looking for certainty, Cassandra, I cannot help you.
She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then, I felt the whole world change.
She was a voice of reason. And in their lust for power, they killed her.
Beyond that, guilt is a distraction, one we can ill afford.
After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, and finally gods. The Evanurists.
Is that how you remember it? That is what I mean about perception shaping our existence.
After the war ended, generals became respected elders, then kings, and finally gods. The Evanurists.
Pawn to e5, the exalted plains have been soaked in too much unexalted blood.
War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command.
You had walked in the Fade.
War breeds fear. Fear breeds a desire for simplicity. Good and evil, right and wrong, chains of command.
I find my peace elsewhere.
Then, spirit or no, her actions were worthy of respect. When this is over, the nobles will still expect the peasants to send in the harvest.
My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurists down. But still, some hope remains for restoration.
I have explored the Fade more than anyone alive. But even I can only visit in dreams.
My people fell for what I did to strike the Evanurists down. But still, some hope remains for restoration.
You have seen a great deal of battle.
Great battles thin the veil. This area will be home to demons for ages to come.
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you.
You have fractured rules of man and nature, and you will shatter more before you are done.
I lay in dark and dreaming sleep while countless wars and ages passed. I woke still weak a year before I joined you.
Think about it, my friend. This was a beautiful land once. What a waste.
I intend to restore them. Doing so will most likely destroy your world.
But you might have been able to visit me here while awake.
I intend to restore them. Doing so will most likely destroy your world.
Not all. Not like you. You live and breathe war. You understand it. It is home to you.
They are fools. A fact only amplified by Corypheus's meddling. The Dalish remember fragments of fragments, but that is more than most.
Well then, briefly, I am the Dread Wolf. I fought the false elven gods, created the Veil, and destroyed my people.
Visiting me here, even as a mage, it should not have been so easy for you.
Well then, briefly, I am the Dread Wolf. I fought the false elven gods, created the Veil, and destroyed my people.
Knight takes pawn at g7. Check.
As you wish. You've earned your anger. But I am not the monster the Dalish painted.
To visit me here? And you not even a mage?
As you wish. You've earned your anger. But I am not the monster the Dalish painted.
I intended no offense.
Queen to f6. Check. Because Alistair's actions define a single man.
Ebesit kata, etwa ost.
Thank you. You throw me off so easily. Even here.
Ebesit kata, Et toi ost.
We have both seen terrible things. We have watched death and destruction render that which we love unrecognizable.
Because Logain's actions define a single man.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
We shouldn't. It isn't right. Not even here.
Your forces have failed. Leave now and tell the Canary to trouble me no further.
It is calming to see something familiar in another.
The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose.
Where do you think we were?
The dread wolf inspired hope in my friends, and fear in my enemies. Not unlike Inquisitor, I suppose.
Because Stroud's actions define a single man. The Warden's insistence on tampering with forces they do not understand. That is what defines their order. That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
There are struggles across Thedas at any given time. I doubt you would have heard of it.
I don't always mention the veil.
The veil is thin here. Can you feel it on your skin, tingling?
Mage to E7. Checkmate.
I was trying to determine some way to show you what you mean to me.
In a manner of speaking. And you?
Cause and effect. Wisdom as its own reward, and the inherent right of all free-willed people to exist.
I shall bear that in mind.
And you as well, Tal Vashoth.
For now, the best gift I can offer is the truth.
I do indeed.
You are unique. In all Thedas, I never expected to find someone who could draw my attention from the Fade.
I know. I believe the elven gods existed, as did the old gods of Devinter.
You have become important to me. More important than I could have imagined.
You should have seen me when I was younger. Hot-blooded and cocky, always ready to fight.
Then what I must tell you, the truth.
But I do not think any of them were gods, unless you expand the definition of the word to the point of absurdity. I appreciate the idea of your maker, a god who does not need to prove his power.
Your face, the Valasleen. In my journeys in the Fade, I have seen things. I have discovered what those marks mean.
It is a delicate balance for those who fight.
I wish more such gods felt the same.
No, they are slave markings, or at least they were in the time of ancient Alathan.
If they lack sufficient passion, they never become truly skilled, and die or leave the life.
Yes, that's right.
I have people, Seeker. The greatest triumphs and tragedies this world has known can all be traced to people.
A noble would mark his slaves to honor the god he worshipped.
Yes. It is a rare soldier who can fight without letting it define him.
After Alathan fell, the Dalish forgot.
A darkspawn, as he appears? I shall take that as a compliment.
I know. For everything I have said about the Dalish, I admire that indomitable spirit.
His true advantage is the red lyrium. It is corrupted by the blight, as he is. Thus he taps into its power twofold.
Because it's true.
Whatever he was before, that is what makes him dangerous now.
Because you deserve better.
Yes. The Fade holds a trove of memories to explore. Spirits know secrets lost to this world.
I'm sorry.
One assumes that if it were, we would be facing a blight.
Don't say that. For all they got wrong, the Dalish did one thing right.
Would many not say the same of Kunari?
They made you.
It is connected to Corypheus. Such a relation goes beyond mere control. It is a bond.
A forest used to tower here, until sand ate away the roots. I didn't tell you this to hurt you. If you like, I know a spell.
Instead, you conquer them and turn them into servants of the Qun.
A strange mix of creatures. Some of the animals must have arrived with the old dwarves. I can remove the Valasleen.
I would not go as far as that. This dragon is a replica, spawned from a creature who aspires to greatness, no more.
Half-remembered ruins. Fate of all cities, eventually. I'm so sorry for causing you pain. It was selfish of me. I look at you and I see what you truly are.
You fight hard, Seeker.
Excuse me. The air strips the throat, and you deserve better than what those cruel marks represent.
That comes from being self-taught.
Alasa Malarevas. You are free.
I discovered most magic on my own, or learned it from my journeys in the Fade.
You are so beautiful. You are perfect exactly as you are.
Are your own memories any different? The truth is never precise, regardless of where you are. It is a comfort to have you present on our journeys, Seeker.
Even in this, you surprise me.
Or, without magical training, you cannot notice the parts of my magic that clunk.
I shall speak no more of it. Still, know that whatever happens, you are a rare spirit in this world.
Manners, perhaps.
Much bigger, I promise you. Goodbye.
I suppose.
And I am sorry. I distracted you from your duty. It will never happen again.
I say what I believe to be true. even if it gives offense to those who prefer the lie.
Please, Vanan.
Unless the fight is personal, violence is a means to an end. It isn't appropriate to celebrate.
You have a rare and marvelous spirit. In another world.
But there is no lie in what you are. Your position is an honorable one, and well earned.
I can't.
We have fought living men, with loves and families, and all that they might have been is gone.
I can't do that.
For the most part.
You truly should.
I'm
sorry.
People could be trying. Mankind most of all.
I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you.
A man in the last village. Something in his manner troubles me.
I'm sorry. I should have ended this long before. I never wanted to hurt you. I will see you back at Skyhold.
Why do you say that?
We must focus all our efforts on stopping Corypheus. If we fail there, nothing else matters.
I went to see the breach for myself. I did not know you would be there.
I'm sorry. I should never have. I distracted you from your duty. It won't happen again.
Vast but still. Does it bother you? How different it looks than the sky in the fade.
No, this is a mistake. And it's over. I'm sorry.
I was not. I'd come to hear of the conclave, but did not want to get close. You are more observant than you appear. Did you believe the conclave could achieve peace, Cassandra? For once, no war or blight stripped this place bare. The city here fell to time. The Templars went to war to force mages back into their circles, which the mages would never agree to. What solution could divine Justinia have offered when all sides rejected compromise? No. Such behavior attracts the attention of demons, or they believed the other side would relent. There are ways of telling. Tremors in the veil. Iron Bull, how do your people put on shirts?
We are all sustained by the hope.
Your abilities are remarkable, Seeker. It is fascinating to see how you and the Templars negate magic.
You wouldn't have cared for it. Too many dwarves.
Only at a distance? I am an apostate after all.
The stars will guide us out of here, I hope.
Colorful. I am a very careful apostate. It is as though you are drawing upon the world around us. Mages draw forth the essence of the Fade, and use that essence to shape reality, in a manner of speaking. You reinforce reality so it is less mutable. The Fade has nowhere to gain a foothold, and the magic disperses. You are a seeker of truth. I am pleased you find it so. Your abilities declare the world real. Who, if not the maker of this world, could grant such a gift?
You must be strange. The trees, perhaps?
I am always open to new ideas. Seeker, you initially believed our Herald of Andraste was involved in the attack on the Conclave, yes?
Shouldn't we travel to Val Royeaux now, Seeker? The breach isn't going to close itself. Indeed. The sooner we obtain help for the breach, the better.
The mages and the Templars chose a poor location for working out their differences. Bandits, demons, mages, and Templars. The refugees are in dire need of help. Such an irresponsible use of magic. The mages here are little more than animals. A beautiful area to have seen so much sadness. It is good to see the Inquisition helping the refugees. It seems no one else will. I hope they found whatever they were digging for. The veil is strange here, as if it were reinforced, but for a few places where it has been warped. You could work here a year and never see anyone except your fellow miners. I spent little time on the sea in my travels. The dreams are never worth the effort. I wonder what lies sunken beneath those waves. I expected more merchant ships. Recent events must have put a hold on trading. This area must be rife with smugglers. I expect the rifts will only worsen the storms that gave this place its name. Some things never change. They attempt to outdo one another with their fashions, like great birds showing their plumage. It seems the war is felt less keenly here than elsewhere. The merchants have goods from across the known world. I understand one can get anything one desires in Val Royeaux, as long as it is in fashion. This was home to empires and great rituals, until it all fell. The veil is weaker here. Odd that we have not seen more rifts. Only the hardiest creatures survive in this land. I travelled here once. I nearly died from lack of water. This is when I appreciate learning the magic to prevent sunburn on a bald head. Blights scar all they touch. To see wildlife thriving here, it is deeply unexpected. Is that elven? Odd to find it here. They're already dead. You can't help them. Don't let their memory overwhelm you, because they were in the way, of course. These were minor obstacles in the path to someone's power. In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect, and Corypheus cannot die. Destroy his body and he will assume another. That was unnecessary. A pointless waste of life. Pointless, is it? This is their land, not yours. Then perhaps you should have agreed to his deal. Then perhaps you should have done the rituals, instead of blundering after the Magisters. I should have known. She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows. Why not?
Did he not seem honorable? If we'd completed the rituals, perhaps the sentinels would have been open to discussion. It is where they paid fealty to the gods. I have seen it, in the Fade. Only the reverent were permitted to touch this ground, and only in solemn contemplation. We did not come to cart off the last of elven glory. Perhaps it was meant to kindle a sense of awe in visitors. We should hurry. Their numbers are not endless. Abalas gave us his word. For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other. None we can discern by staring at it. The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests. There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger. There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it. Malas Amalin Nahalam Abalas. He was defending all that was left of what once was. You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted. No. Do not ask me again. She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well. So Mithal endures. Inquisitor! Inquisitor! There. Our Inquisitor's waking up.